red lights go off. We'll streak to the checkered flag.
2 more turns. We're on the last lap. By the slimmest of margins, takes the win.
Welcome to New Jersey Motorsports Park. I'm your host, Hannah Loba, and this is round 6 of the 2020 MotoAmerica season. After this weekend, there are only 3 rounds left for our riders to make their move up the championship point standings. New Jersey Motorsports Park is located about 50 miles south of Philadelphia in Millville, New Jersey. Our riders will be taking on the Thunderbolt Raceway and the stretch of track known as the Jersey Devil. Some of them documented parts of their travel on the road here. Let's see what they captured along the way.
I'm Caleb DeCaro, MotoAmerica Twins Cup racer number 51. We're currently on our way to round 6 of the MotoAmerica Championship. It's 7 in the morning. Glad we're not on that side of the freeway. Number 7, right there. I don't know if you guys can see that. Chicken, egg, and cheese bagel. You gotta try it if you haven't.
Do you think we should stop and get some gas soon?
No, we still got 34 miles to eat, and if we push it right down the wire, then we'll have that much more gas to go that much further without stopping. So I'm thinking we'll wait until there's like 5.
I'm really hoping that there's a gas station right up here.
We're loaded up. We're getting ready to go to New Jersey. It's only about 6.5 hour drive from here in New York where I grew up. So hope we get in before too late, get settled in, get ready to move into the morning. Timing, perfect time. Efficient multitasking. Getting dinner delivered at the truck wash. You gotta be efficient.
Kyle Wyman going in right now.
Trying.
Eric, you're behind them, and we're gonna shut it down just for a little bit. Let us get our gatherings here.
We're here. I gotta turn the exterior lights off because I turned the generator on and these are on, so I don't want to light up all of New Jersey Motorsports Park here. Get some sleep.
Here we are crossing over to New Jersey, going over the Commodore Barry right now. The humidity today is really messing up my hair, but it's all right. It's all good. We're going to the racetrack, so. Last time out, we were at Pittsburgh, and we were able to run up front, so that's kind of what we're shooting for this weekend and for the rest of the season. Run inside that top 5, stay with the leaders. That's the goal that we've got. Just crossing over the bridge right now, going to move into the paddock. So yeah, the team's excited and we're ready to get this going.
Looks like jamming out to a great playlist is an essential part of being on the road. We stepped into the paddock to find out what our riders listen to when traveling or gearing up for a race.
My favorite artist is The Weeknd, so I'd play a lot of The Weeknd coming into the road to tracks. But to get pumped up, I'd probably listen to a lot of Drake. I just like the beat of it.
Mainly reggae and a little bit of some deep house stuff and stuff you can groove to, but yeah, I'm a big reggae fan.
What I like to usually listen to is some more like chill EDM, but before a race, I listen to some really hardcore stuff.
I like country. I'm not like a pump up guy. I'm like a calm and like relaxed guy, I guess, like when I'm getting on the bike. So yeah, I like country.
I don't listen to music. I really just I play more video games than I probably should.
Country, hip hop, rock and roll. I mean, pretty much everything you can imagine I'm listening to, just to kind of change it up.
Everything from deep house to rock and roll to techno to whatever, just like whatever I'm kind of feeling on that day.
Ed Sheeran. Have to keep it at home.
Recently on social media, Brandon Posh was showing some pride with his new pickup truck he recently purchased. Max Flinders spent quality time with one of his dogs rolling around in the first leaves of the season. Sam Lockoff hung out at the beach with his buddies, although they all said the water was too cold to go swimming. Come on, guys. Josh Herron captured the biggest win of his career, getting married in California. Congratulations, Rachel and Josh. Check out all of MotoAmerica's social media accounts and see unique content you can't see anywhere else. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. When we come back, Navy veteran and supersport rider Tony Blackall shares his mission to help veterans and active military service members. Welcome back to Millville, New Jersey and Inside MotoAmerica. For avid sports fans, athletes are their heroes. This week, I sat down with a true American hero both on and off the track. After serving our country, veteran-turned-professional road racer Tony Blackall wanted to give back to our troops and even had a special tribute in store for this race weekend. With more, here's Inside MotoAmerica's The Crew.
Hi, my name is Tony Blackall. I'm of Blackall Racing LLC. I'm a Navy veteran, and I ride the Super Sport class. Racing motorcycles are very important to me because it brought me out of a dark place where I didn't know I was going down in. I came home from the military and this is what brought me back and kind of saved my life. Luckily, my wife noticed that I was in a rabbit hole, is what I'd like to say. It brought me out because it brought me back to the motorcycle camaraderie, the community, and the adrenaline, and it felt like the military life all over again. My wife served 5 years with the United States Marine Corps. She worked on the EA-6B Prowler, and she was an engine mechanic. So starting our own privateer effort became noticeable when I started to get back in the motorcycle community. My wife realized the difference in me being a husband and a father. So we saw that it saved my life, and it could have saved someone else's life, so that's what we're here for, and we're just trying to reach out to as many people as we can. So it was always nice to get a letter to know that someone was thinking about you. And we hooked up with a National Guard unit that's been activated for an 18-month deployment over in Afghanistan. We call it the Patriot Packages. So our goal for the Patriot Packages is 200 by the end of the season. We had 10 weekends, so we try and do 20 bags per weekend. And we provide everything. All they need to do is walk down the line and fill the bags, write a note, and sending it over. And being over there, receiving the letters, it was just amazing. So that's our one huge initiative, to make sure that they know that someone cares about them. Outside of actually being at the track, we have a blackallracing.com website, and we have a specific page for contributions that specifically help this. We are running a special 911 tribute bike with the twin towers up the sides, with the New York skyline on the belly pan. We didn't even tell our mechanics about it, and when they showed up, we rolled the bike out and the jaws dropped. It is something that we want to remember and never forget. We run the patriotic bike for the 9 out of 10 rounds, and this round is important to us because it is the anniversary, and we want to remember who was there and on the front lines and is still fighting. The passion that I have for motorcycle racing and the military is a huge combination. It's like my yin and yang. And why we do it is that, from my case, is it saved my life, and we just want to make sure that when they come home, there are people here for them. So our passion with motorcycles aligns with our military careers and everything along the lines of doing adrenaline, fast pace, and having their game face on when it's time. Being a privateer, we are out here with passion and heart.
The first day of practice and qualifying in New Jersey was on Friday, September 11th. MotoAmerica took pause and paid tribute to those who lost their lives 19 years ago. Tony led a tribute lap on his commemorative bike with a line of first responders following. Inside MotoAmerica would like to thank all first responders, active military, and veterans for their unselfish service. And to those who gave all, rest in peace. Welcome back to Millville, New Jersey and Inside MotoAmerica. Liqui Junior Cup rider Benjamin Gloddy is having a solid season, sitting in fourth going into the weekend at Millville. Living in the Northeast, the New Jersey Motorsports Park is somewhat of a home track for him. He takes us on a track walk to show us his favorite spots on the Thunderbolt course.
Hi, I'm Ben Gloddy, and today we're going to take you around New Jersey Motorsports Park and show you my favorite three corners. We're at turn 2, and one thing I really like about this corner is how you can't see the exit over the top of the hill. So you really got to be precise on all your marks coming through here, or else you're running wide and you'll give up a lot of time out on the curbing. We're here at turn 5, second favorite corner on the track, just because of how fast the right-hander is in the back over there. And we come down here and we got to bring the bike back over to the right-hand side of the track to set ourselves up for the left-hander to get a good drive down towards turn 6. This is the last corner here at New Jersey Motorsports Park, and this is one of my favorites just because of how fast it is and how we're fully tucked in on the Junior Cup bikes, and we're able to make passes before the start-finish line. Thanks for joining me around the 3 favorite corners around New Jersey Motorsports Park.
Thrashed Bike Racing and Liqui USA Canada are proud to announce an even stronger tie to each other for the forthcoming season. The two parties are teaming up with a new transporter that should be ready to roll at Barber Motorsports Park and will be stocked with Liqui products. The transporter will haul the bikes, parts, and tools under the Liqui graphic design. This continued and expanded support will grow the presence of Thrashed Bike Racing and Liqui at tracks nationwide. Both teams are looking forward to an exciting future. MotoAmerica is proud to announce an agreement with Star Sports, a network throughout the continent of Asia, to air the 2020 MotoAmerica Superbike Series live. The first broadcast of the series was from Round 5 at the Ridge Motorsports Park in Shelton, Washington. Star Sports reaches millions in countries such as China, Indonesia, Mongolia, the Philippines, South Korea, and Vietnam. Asia is a hotbed for motorcycle racing, so this further increases MotoAmerica's presence as the premier American motorcycle racing series as they move to make it known globally. Honos caused a bit of a stir on its Instagram feed after the Ridge, showing a photo of a Ducati wrapped in Honos branding with the caption, "Looking forward to 2021. Is Honos planning a move to the Superbike series with the Italian manufacturer? Well, they say no on the Ducati, but they are looking at Kawasaki and Aprilia. A Kawasaki program would also include Graves Motorsports, who plays a big role in the success of the Honos Supersport program this year with Richie Escalante. The plan calls for a second rider and one with more experience than Escalante, who would be making his big bike debut in 2021 if the deal comes together. One trait all teams and riders in this series possess is perseverance. It's more than a noun, it's a way of life. Whether it's rebuilding a bike in a few hours, crashing out of a weekend, or getting injured in a crash. The delay for success may take a while for some, but there's no doubt it's coming.
My name is Stoney Landers. I'm the crew chief for Landers Racing. Our rider is Rocco Landers, who happens to be my son. It's that moment when they don't come around when you think they should come around. You're hoping they're out of fuel or something simple. Finally, somebody said he crashed, so I just went back to the pit and started to organize and get ready to fix whatever was coming my way. You know, I decided immediately with the condition of the bike to go ahead and just build a new bike because I didn't want to have a situation where the frame was compromised. I got tunnel vision on that, and all of a sudden Dale Quarterly shows up in my face with Quarterly Racing. His rider's Ben Gloddy, him and his son, and he goes, "Do you want me to help you?" I mean, those two were probably the tipping point that helped us actually get it done.
Went out for that test day we had on Thursday and was just trying to get up to speed and learn the track a little bit. And I think it was like my 4th or 5th lap on the whole day, and I lost the front on a little bit of a cold tire, but really fast crash, over 100 miles per hour on the data. The bike tumbled through the runoff area and the rear tire caught just right, snapped the swing arm in half, and the whole bike just completely disassembled itself. So we had a huge crash and lost a lot of parts in that crash. We got the bike back out the next day, and we put together a bike on Saturday. A lot of stock parts on it, but something to get us out for the race, and we were last on the grid because we missed so much time. And I got caught up in a first turn accident in the chicane and completely wrecked the bike again, trashed the thing, and we came back and worked on the bike and got new parts coming from Ducati Course and Ducati USA, and the bike's back together and we're feeling good here in New Jersey.
We went out for warm-up on Sunday and ended up just tucking the front and just tumbled through the dirt. I don't really know how I got hurt, but I know either a bike landed on my leg or something, and I ended up breaking my left femur. Got surgery the next day. My recovery, I should be able to walk normally in about 2 weeks or so. The feeling of doing good and just satisfying your crew and everything, it's a good feeling, so I want to get back out there and I want to do good.
Stoney's rebuild led to Rocco's win. Kyle showed up to New Jersey and took 4th in race 1, and Gus's moment is yet to come. Coming up on Inside MotoAmerica, I sit down with Jake Gagne for insight into his story with Why We Ride.
I'm Steve Shakespeare, and you're watching Inside MotoAmerica.
Welcome back to Inside MotoAmerica at New Jersey Motorsports Park in Millville, New Jersey. When you're attending a race, make sure you stop by the MotoAmerica merchandise tent to bring home some new gear for the family. If you can't make it out to one of the weekend events, visit our online store at MotoAmerica.com to see what's new and purchase right from the site. Jake Gagne started his journey to road racing a little different than most. With dreams of becoming a professional motocross racer, Jake developed his skills on the dirt at a very young age. I sat down with him to talk about the transition to pavement and the career that took him around the world. This is Why We Ride. Take me back to the very beginning. How did you get your start riding and racing motorcycles?
Yeah, my earliest memories when I was 3 or 4, I'd go to, my dad had a dirt bike in the garage, Yamaha 426, back before they made 450s. Anyway, so I'd go to the track and just watch, hang out. I remember him riding around at the motocross track doing his thing. He grew up around motorcycles his whole life. And so as soon as I was 4 or 5, I think once I bugged my mom and dad enough to let me get a bike, my dad got me a bike, and so I started on a little 50, just riding motocross. I had a couple motocross tracks around me. I just started having fun, and me and my dad really enjoyed it. We enjoyed our weekends of just riding, racing motocross, and then over the years, at 10, 11, 12, I started taking motocross a little more seriously, getting some support and doing some nationals, and it was going really well. It was my dream, my whole life goal is to kind of be racing motocross and supercross, and then out of the blue, it was end of 2007, 2008, when the Red Bull Rookies Cup program got announced, and so my dad signed me up for that, kind of thinking nothing of it. And then one day I remember he's like, hey, you want to go? I signed you up for this thing. You got picked to try out at Barber for the Rookies Cup program. So I came out here. It was my first time ever on asphalt. First time in leathers and all that stuff. I didn't know what the heck I was doing, but they ended up picking me. I think, with my lack of experience, I was definitely probably the slowest kid that got picked out of the Rookies Cup. But I think they kind of saw that I was a little new. And so that was my first year road racing in 2008 with Rebel Rookies Cup. And then I did a couple years in Europe after that and won that championship. And then things just happen, they roll. And I've had I've been blessed with some amazing opportunities in racing. And it's crazy to think that how long I've been racing motorcycles already and what a journey it's been. But I'm pumped to be sitting here and racing a MotoAmerica Superbike for Yamaha and Attack Performance, and so seeing how it ends up here when you ask that question, it's kind of crazy. So.
Yeah, when you think about your whole life and the trajectory that got you to here, how did it in the very beginning turn into something that was just kind of something you were interested in to being something that was competitive, something where you realized, I want to go fast, I want to win, I want to be the best guy?
It kind of happens naturally for people at one, however they get to it. My dad, he was never one of those mini dads, he'd pushing me to do this, do that. It's like I'd always be the guy, like I have to ask my dad about like let's go riding, or I'd make sure I kind of bug him. So it was always kind of self-motivated, and I think that's what keeps it fun. I always had fun riding motorcycles. Like anybody, all of us know, it's always been, it's a release, it's a rush, it's fun, and tackling those challenges throughout life, I think, being a racer or any type of sport or whatever, always looking for those next challenges, becoming a better person or a better athlete or whatever you're working on, and that kind of brings you, like I say, it brings you to where you are now, and you learn through all those lessons in life, and so it's been quite a journey.
From what I understand, you're a pretty talented motocross rider, even now. How was that transition for you to road racing, changing mediums in that way where it was, it's a whole different kind of animal? How did you overcome that?
It was tough. Like I said, and when I came to the Rookies Cup tryout at Barber, it was my first time on asphalt. I never drug knee. Even the whole 2 days of the tryout, I think I drug knee once in turn 2. I remember dragging knee once in turn 2. But like I said, they knew I was very new to the road racing part of things. Like I said, I was really slow compared to some of the other kids that had years of road racing experience. But throughout the year, first couple tests, I was one of the last place kids, and then throughout the year, better and better, and learning and being able to ride with all those guys in the program, and we ended up kind of winning a couple races there at the end, and then that ended up bringing the opportunity to go to Europe for 2 years with the Red Bull Rookies Cup program. So to see how it all worked out was pretty amazing, and I've learned a lot over the years. And then after those couple years in Europe, I came back here, and we've been around the MotoAmerica Paddock and enjoying racing, enjoying being around, traveling around the country, the best tracks, and seeing all the fans, and it's been a cool journey,
If you could sum it up for me, why do you ride?
Why do I ride? I don't think I can sum that one up. I could try. It's just a love. It's just love and passion for, you call it the sport, or just not even the sport, the feeling, I guess, whatever that is. Everybody knows they got something that they have a passion and a love for that brings them, I think, away from your day-to-day reality, something that you can really kind of get in that flow state and forget about whatever else you're thinking about, and just focusing on becoming better and doing what you love and enjoying the rush and the speed and whatever else you get from it. So.
Do you think you'll ever pursue professional motocross at some point?
I think those days are behind me. I'm here, I'm committed to road racing. I'm a road racer now, and a couple years ago I got to do that one national in 2015, and that was like a dream come true of mine, to race a motocross national and qualify and finish and survive. So I got to do that once in 2015, and that was an experience of a lifetime. So I think I'm just a road racer now. I'm, like I say, I'm still always training on the motocross bike. It's always, when I'm at home, I'm riding a couple times a week always. So I'm always on the dirt bike, having fun and training and enjoying what I get to do. So.
Here's the highlights from the Honos Superbike Race 1 with Greg and Jason.
Well-refined motorcycle from where he's been racing the last few years. And Jason Pridmere here. Look at the highlights of race number 1. And really for Cameron Beaubier is that unbelievable launch.
That was it for him. Gagne made a quick move on Matthew Skaltz in turn 2, and then he did this just about half a lap later. Yeah, you can see he loses the front, which makes the rear of the bike then spin around on him. It's going to be a DNF for Jake Gagne. A real shame. He comes back from a big crash yesterday, only to do that again. Second time he's been frustrated this weekend. This guy, smooth sailing out front, 9-second lead, Greg.
There are only 2 rounds left for the 2020 season, with a Heritage Cup exhibition at both. Indianapolis and Laguna Seca provide the last push for a championship with those in contention. For tickets to all MotoAmerica rounds, log on to MotoAmerica.com and select tickets in the main menu. Next on Inside MotoAmerica, a couple riders relax before the weekend kicks off with an attempt to master throwing an axe.
We love Inside MotoAmerica!
Welcome back to round 6 of the 2020 MotoAmerica season and Inside MotoAmerica. New Jersey Motorsports Park opened in 2008 and is one of a handful of facilities in the world housing 2 circuits that can be operated simultaneously. Both tracks were named after World War II fighter aircraft, the Republic P-47 Thunderbolt and the Lockheed P-38 Lightning. Racing motorcycles requires a high level of precision and focus. This week, we put Corey Alexander and Michael Gilbert's skills to the test with an action-filled new challenge ahead of the race weekend.
That wasn't bad. There you go.
Winner gets Starbucks. I want a gift card. Here we go, Mikey.
Swing meta.
That was coming for me.
I told you. It does scare me. Boom. Ooh, that's how you start a round. Hold on. They're going to have to put a new board up when I'm done with it.
Yeah, you're so strong.
Thanks, man.
I'm feeling good this time.
Yeah, it just wasn't the free for. There you go. Is that your first point on the board?
Oh, man.
How's your finance job?
You know, just closing deals. That's what we do. We close deals.
At Hudson Valley.
Me and D Money at Hudson Valley Motorcycles.
Nice.
What about you? How's the journalism going?
We, Cycle World Magazine, we're busy right now. We have just a lot of testing going on, and we have new motorcycles coming out. We're gonna go ride them and test them, and we're just busy as ever.
Yeah, no, we're selling a lot of bikes. Are you guys back in the office?
I'm in the office quite a bit because I'm running the dyno for Cycle World, and I'm doing just quite a lot at the shop as well. Boom, bullseye. But most of us were working from home.
What's that like? Because I'm an essential worker, so I go into work every day.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we're essential. Transportation industry, you know?
Essential employees only. I can sit in my PJs and drink my coffee.
What about your dog? You get to hang out with your dog all day?
I would hang out with him, but he just doesn't really want to hang out with me.
I don't blame him. I wouldn't want to hang out with you either, you know?
Yeah, speaking of dogs, you got your new puppy, huh?
Oh my God.
Is he coming this weekend?
Yeah, he's making his debut.
He's making his debut.
He's making his debut. Yeah, Shaggy's coming. The little guy, he's like this big. Jesus. And he literally smells.
Scares me.
I've never smelled anything worse. What comes out of him is just the most awful thing you've ever smelled. All right.
Don't crack.
Should have brought my Theragun for this. It's kind of tough though, because we hang out all the time and then we have to like go out there and pretend we're not friends.
We always joke that we're not going to be friends when one of us cleans each other out. It hasn't happened
I ran
yet.
over Alex last weekend.
Yeah, you did run over Alex. That was his fault.
That was his fault, yeah.
Yeah, we both get a coach. It's fun. It's fun helping people progress and do what we do, and it's really cool because we have a lot of Junior Cup kids that we work with too, and so we get to be here and
I mean, I think racing with Alex, like I'm bummed he's not here because even when he's beating us, it's exciting to like watch him getting better every weekend.
The funny part is we were at the Ridge coaching like 6 weeks ago, and I felt like I was babysitting the kid.
Yeah.
Like literally, I'm the Uber driver driving him around because he's not allowed to drive the rental car.
He's not old
and
enough.
now he's whooping on us.
I'm ahead of you. You think this is a professional sport, Mikey?
I bet it is.
I don't know. I don't know if you could really compare this to motorcycle racing, to be honest. I mean, the determination may be the same.
The grit.
I still want to beat you just as bad. That's about it.
Good luck.
Coming for you, Mikey.
Ooh. All right, man.
Good game, Mikey.
Good job.
See you on the racetrack.
Yeah, we'll see you on the racetrack. Hopefully my axe throwing kind of correlates to me beating you this weekend.
I don't think so.
Yeah, who knows?
Let's check out the highlights from Michael and Corey's Stock 1000 race from Millville with Roger Hayden and Robbie Floyd.
Take a look at the race. Did you see how good of a launch he got? That was a great start by Cam.
Yeah, great start, and put his head down right away. And, you know, that was the last time those guys seen Cam Peterson.
Gilbert wanted to get by earlier. He said, if I'm going to catch up to Cam Peterson, I need to make my move now. Once he moved into second, he did good, and he separated himself, but it didn't last.
Yeah, he separated from Corey, and then Corey reeled him back in and made a great pass right here going into turn 4 and kind of stretched out to a 3-second gap.
diving into 4 and didn't even have to worry about 5 and takes that inside line, guarded it a little bit. And battled for a few laps, but held on for a second, pull it away out in front is the 45 Haggerty Altus Motorsports. All of his sponsors doing them well this week. Cam Peterson, your winner here in New Jersey.
Let's get to the highlights of the Liqui-Moly Junior Cup with Greg and Jason.
Race 1 highlights, Liqui-Moly Junior Cup from Saturday.
And as usual, Rocco Landers gets out to his patented good start, with Sam Lockoff and Dominic Doyle falling into place right behind him. These two guys would have a great battle for second early on as Rocco started to already clear the field. Lockoff and Doyle drafting and redrafting down the front straightaway. Doyle's going to go past Lockoff as they enter turn number 1, and he's going to slot himself into second spot. Great camera angle here of Sam Lockoff going up underneath Doyle in turn 5. Now, what we didn't know at the time was Dominic Doyle had actually jumped the start. The officials brought him in. He had 5 laps to do it. You can see his crew protesting that decision. Dom would end up coming back and getting inside the top 10. Joe Lamandry Jr. and Ben Gloddy now were locked into this battle for third as David Kolstad back on the 29 starts to reel them in. Lap after lap, these two guys went back and forth until the 29 made his arrival, gets himself up into third place, and this was a battle that was going to go down to the line. Rocco Landers crosses the finish line with no knee puck on his right side, and at the finish, Gloddy just pips the other two for third place with Lockoff ending up second.
Rocco Landers' big stand-up wheelie with only 1 knee puck on his leathers. How did he break the track record? Unbelievable. Another great win for Rocco Landers. Liqui-Moly Junior Cup Race 2 from Sunday, and Rocco Landers got an early jump, Jason.
Yeah, once again, you can see Lockoff gets in there right behind him. Gloddy is going to slot himself into third. Lamandry Jr. goes up underneath Doyle. We didn't know at the time, but Dominic Doyle actually had a problem. He'd pull in after the first lap. You can see him on the left side of your screen there. So that meant that Gloddy and Lamandry Jr. were going to be battling for that podium. As you can see them pushing the 25 bike away. Now, Gloddy and Lamandry Jr. started closing up onto Sam Lockoff, our podium finisher from yesterday. All the while, Rocco Landers just continued to go out front. 1 second quicker today was Rocco Landers' best time from everybody else's best time. But these 3 guys raged a pretty good war between the 3 of them as Gloddy took over the point at this point. Now Gloddy gets very out of control coming out of turn 10 with about 2.5 laps to go, only to see Sam Lockoff on the last lap do it in the exact same spot. Rocco Landers would go on to win this race, again doing the double here at New Jersey. This battle came down to the line. Lamandry Jr. gets on the podium for his first time ever, ending up second, Gloddy third. Lockoff eventually did pick his bike up and still finishing the points in 4th place.
What an effort from Rocco Landers and Sam Lockoff. The desire to go get that bike and get it across the line.
Hono's chief mechanic, Derek Keys, gives us a peek into the GP shift and why most riders choose to modify the stock gear set.
Stay tuned for more on Inside MotoAmerica.
Welcome back to the Garden State and Inside MotoAmerica at New Jersey Motorsports Park for round 6 of the 2020 MotoAmerica season. If MotoAmerica had a fantasy league, who would you pick for your team? We walked through the paddock and found out what some fans and riders thought of the idea.
Fantasy MotoAmerica? Yeah. I'd do it. Yeah, absolutely.
MotoGP fantasy is getting pretty big now, so MotoAmerica fantasy would be pretty cool. I think I'd choose, I mean, if I could, I'd choose myself. I'd choose Richie Escalante. I'd choose Caleb DeCarroll for Twins. And I think it's pretty hard to bet against Rocco in the 400 Cup, so.
Definitely Wyman, Bobier.
Wyman.
And I'll go for Rocco too, my little man right there.
Wyman and Rocco.
Cam Bobe, Rocco Landers, and probably Josh Aaron. Yeah, those are my 3 favorite riders.
Take Brandon Pass 3 times. I gotta go with Cameron Bobier. He's been super consistent and he's just on point every weekend. So, and then for 600, I'd probably go Richie Escalante. He's one of my good friends, and he's obviously been doing really well this year. And probably Cam Peterson, Stock 1000. He's a good friend of mine, and he's been doing really good this year.
I got to go Bovier, Fong, and Wyman.
Richie Escalante, Cameron Bobier, and I guess Rocco Landers. I mean, yeah. Seems like it'd be the safest picks, right?
My first one is Tony Leah, Cameron Bobby, and Brandon Park.
If there was a Fantasy MotoAmerica, I pick Cam for Superbike, probably Richie for 600, and for Junior Cup, Dom.
Well, I pick Rocco Landers, and Rocco Landers, but...
Fantasy MotoAmerica all the way, baby.
Yeah.
So typically you push down for first, and every gear that you want to shift up, you grab the shifter up. And when you downshift, you'd push it down. GP shifting is just the opposite of that. You know, you'd pull up for first gear, and then every gear that you want to upshift, you'd be pushing down on the lever. A lot of the riders prefer the GP shift, mainly because it makes the gear shift easier to reach when they're hanging off the bike and they're coming out of a corner and you got to get that gear before they're back upright. Just makes it easier to tap that lever, get the next gear, and carry on. A lot of times you have to change the linkage, change out the stock linkage and have a shift arm that creates clearance because you're basically flipping the stock linkage. We use a Grave setup that has a special knuckle that spaces things out correctly so you can flip it around and use that GP shift. There are a few guys who prefer standard shift. It just depends on what they're used to, what they like. But I'd say for the majority, all these guys are going to be on using a GP shift pattern. With the quick shifter, you do have to use a certain sensor, whether you're doing a standard shift versus a GP shift. We do have a push and pull style sensors, so you can use them on either one. Richie likes to use a GP shift, and our shift sensor is set up to where he doesn't have to use the clutch at all for his upshifts. And with the ZX6, he does have to use the clutch to make his downshifts. But some of the other bikes, they have what's called auto blip, so they don't have to use the clutch when they start doing their downshifts. I know some personal friends that ride on the street that prefer GP shifting. They think it's easier and it's more comfortable for when they ride. It's just a matter of preference.
Here's Greg and Jason with the Supersport highlights from New Jersey.
Jason, why don't we take a look at race one and how this whole thing unfolded, because Escalante said it wasn't drama-free for him.
No, it wasn't. As you can see here, he gets off the line a little bit behind Brandon Posh, but SDK got a great start. Did kind of what I thought he was going to do, put his head down, looked like he had some pace on these guys in the opening laps, and you can see Brandon Posh slots himself into second in between him and between SDK and Escalante as the race wore on. Escalante ends up going around the outside of Brandon Posh in turn one, which would actually be the race for the front. Brandon Posh, after Escalante attacked Sean Dillon Kelly in turn 5, Brandon Posh does the business, goes right up underneath him in turn 6. Those two guys would start to break away from the battle for third. And at the beginning, it was a battle because Zayat was right up the back of Sean Dillon Kelly. Kevin Olmedo and Benjamin Smith would go to the line in their battle for that top 5 spot, which eventually would go to Olmedo. But on the last lap, this guy cruises along to a 3.4 second win and some work to do tomorrow, he says.
Here's highlights of this one. Not really sure how this truck put it together because there were a ton.
Yeah, there was a lot of passing at the front. We had a group of 6 or 7 guys for the majority for the first, let's say, third of this race. But it was Escalante, Pash, and SDK that were really showing to make all these passes and moves. Olmedo actually fell back for a while, brought that back up. As you can see, these guys going off into turn 1. Escalante got out of shape. And then we had Olmedo almost getting into the back of Brandon. He'd fall back and then fight his way all the way back up to the front. But these 3 guys at the front broke away like we've seen them do. Olmedo all the while kept on closing in on them. SDK made this pass twice on Escalante as they rolled into turn 5, opening the door for Brandon Posh both times. And when they came back across the line with about 3 to go, Escalante took the lead, and we were watching to see if the pace was going to go up any quicker. SDK, I wanted no part of any of it. He had a bike that was handling really well, and he slides up underneath him in turn 10. Escalante, and then Brandon Posh does the exact same thing to Escalante on the last lap and comes so close to winning his first race, but it's SDK on the day.
And you can see Sean Dillon Kelly have a look over his shoulder to see just how close Brandon Posh was, about half a bike lane. There's Jeremy Toy, who gets to collect the
Coming up next on Inside MotoAmerica, we mic up Brandon Posh and a couple of regulars you see at every stop in the MotoAmerica series.
Stay tuned for more on Inside MotoAmerica.
Welcome back to Millville, New Jersey and Inside MotoAmerica. A lot goes on in the paddock and pits every race weekend. We mic'd up a few regulars to get an inside look.
All right, we got some work to do. It was like into the corners was just pumping a lot on the brakes. The front? The rear. This will probably be the biggest event of the year.
Well, I think it's really the only event of the year here.
Yeah. Well, the biggest one of the year, I mean, like as far as MotoAmerica goes. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's like confidence, like braking and turning on the curb.
Okay.
Because those curbs have like a big bump coming off
Yeah,
of
it definitely gets the bike out of shape when you get on.
Maybe like if I can stay off the curb, might be better because it looks like he doesn't even go over the curb really.
Exactly.
You're looking solid on your exit on one.
Yeah. We found some stuff with the bike and with my my lines and stuff that we're gonna work on, and I should be good come race time. So.
All right, you need 129 front?
Rear.
Rear. Just one?
Yep.
What's for lunch today?
Hamburgers and corn on the cob.
You're not gonna burn them like you did last week, are you?
No, I didn't burn them last week. It was the week before.
Oh, it was the week before. Randy, this would have been a perfect song for the Ridge. Another one bites the dust with all the crashes. I see, look at you got the moves. There you go. He's got the moves on. If we just gave him 2 rear tires instead of a front, do you think Cameron would still be up front? Maybe? You're supposed to say yes.
Dunlop has to have them. I think any service providers have to have them.
Only 2 people out on the grid.
Exactly. What up? Boom! Guys, y'all set up one too far forward. This is row like -1. So when you come back, row 1 is actually right there where Josh is.
You know, I like your other umbrella girls a lot better.
Nothing personal.
Hey. Beggars can't be choosers.
We're not penalizing anybody. We just let you guys, we let the front row set up too far forward. Missing bikes 5, 5, and 2, 2. Otherwise, the grid is set. 1 minute, 1 minute. Again, pit lane is clear. You got them all.
Here's the highlights from race 2 of the Hono Superbike class with Greg and Jason.
Let's take a look at race 2 highlights from the Hono Superbike class here at New Jersey Motorsports Park.
Yeah, Cameron Beaubier today got 2 really good starts. This is the first one. We see Tony Elias gets a little bit blocked out there. He got a good jump from the second row. This race was going to be short-lived, however, because we had a big accident, including involving Bradley Ward. Looks like he dug his knee, maybe in the dirt there, but we know he's on his way to the hospital. We wish him nothing but the best. At the restart, Cameron Beaubier got another tremendous launch, and he was able to kind of pull away, not very fast. Now, Bobby Fong made a big pass on his teammate going through that fast last turn 12. These 2 guys were going to go all the way to the line, battling for second place. But this guy out front had about 2.5 seconds on them up the road, and for a while it looked like Matthew Schultz was going to hold that advantage. Cameron Beaubier comes out on the front straightaway for the final time to win again, but at the line, Jake Gagne was able to just outdrive Matthew Schultz out of that last corner and beat him to the line by a very, very small margin.
Yeah, a little conversation afterward, and Cameron Beaubier with a wheel in the air, a very happy camper.
The next episode of Inside MotoAmerica will come from Barber Motorsports Park, just outside of Birmingham, Alabama. Check your local listings for air times on the NBC Sports Network. For all of us here at Inside MotoAmerica, I'm Hannah Lopa. See you soon.
So dominant hand on the bottom. I don't like that. I feel like I'm gonna take my head off when I throw it like that.
Hey man, I'm ready.
Let's do it. You look scared.
I am pretty scared.
Rocco Landers looks like he grew in 1 week.
Trying to keep everybody in line at the back of the grid, and I missed the front. 1 row too far forward. Pull the whole back. We will.
2, 3.
Stay tuned for more on Inside MotoAmerica.
That was great.